Hi Year 5, it's Miss Ridges here. Hello everybody. And today, for this 3 o'clock read, I'm going to be reading one out of my own personal collection. So this is Into the Forest by Anthony Browne. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. One night, I was woken up by a terrible sound. The next morning, it was all quiet. Dad wasn't there. I asked Mum when he was coming back, but she didn't seem to know. I missed Dad. The next day, Mum asked me to take a cake to Grandma, who was poorly. I love Grandma. She always tells me such fantastic stories. There are 2 ways to get to Grandma's house. The long way round, which takes ages, or the short way through the forest. Don't go into the forest, said Mum. Go the long way round. But that day, for the first time, I chose the quick way. I wanted to be home in case Dad came back. After a short while, I saw a boy. Do you want to buy a nice milky moo cow? He asked. No, I said. Why would I want to buy a cow? I'll swap it for that sweet fruity cake in your basket, he said. No, it's for my poorly grandma, I said, and I walked on. I'm poorly, I heard him saying. I'm poorly. As I went further into the forest, I met a girl with golden hair. What a sweet little basket, she said. What's in it? A cake for my grandma. She's poorly. I'd like a lovely cake like that, she said. I walked on, I can hear her saying, but it's a lovely little cake. I'd like one like that. The forest was becoming darker and colder, and I saw 2 other children huddled by a fire. Have you seen our Dad and Mum? The boy asked. No. Have you lost them? They're cutting wood in the forest somewhere, said the girl, but I wish they'd come back. As I walked on, I could hear the dreadful sound of the girl crying, but what could I do? I was getting very cold and wished that I brought a coat. Suddenly, I saw one. It was nice and warm, but as soon as I put it on, I began to feel scared. I felt that something was following me. I remembered the story that Grandma used to tell about a bad wolf. I started to run, but I couldn't find the path. I ran and ran deeper into the forest, but I was lost. Where was Grandma's house? At last, there it was. I knocked on the door, and a voice called out, "Who's there?" But it didn't really sound like Grandma's voice. "It's me. I've brought a cake from Mum." I pushed the door open a little. "Come in, dear," the strange voice called. I was terrified. I slowly crept in. There in Grandma's bed was... Grandma! Come here, love, she sniffed. How are you? I'm all right now, I said. Then I heard a noise behind me and turned around. Dad! I told them everything that had happened. Well, we all had a hot drink and I ate 2 pieces of Mum's delicious cake. Then we said goodbye to Grandma, who was feeling much better. When we got home, I pushed open the door. "Who's there?" a voice called. "It's only us," we said. And Mum came out smiling. Right, okay, so that was Into the Forest. Now, I don't know about you, but I noticed when I first read this, there was a few themes in this story that you might have recognised. Yeah, a few symbols, a few things that you might have noticed in the trees, the way the children were talking. Let me know what you think about this story, because although some of it might not make sense, there's actually some hidden inner stories in this that you might be able to catch on. Okay? Well, thank you for reading with me, and I will do another Anthony Browne book tomorrow. Okay? Bye, 5.